Hi, I'm Roopali. Let's talk VAT. When to raise a tax invoice and what are the contents that should be mentioned while issuing a comprehensive tax invoice. First is when to raise a tax invoice. Article 143 of the Executive Regulations has specifically stated that a taxable person must issue a tax invoice first when he is making a taxable supplies, secondly when he is making a deemed supply, and thirdly where he has received a consideration whether partly or fully before the due date of supply. Then a tax invoice must be issued. Now all the tax invoices must be issued in Omani Riyals. If there is a requirement by a taxable person to issue an invoice other than Omani Riyal, then the exchange rate used should be the average of the purchase and the selling rate appearing on the Central Bank of Oman at the tax due date. Further, a tax invoice can be issued on behalf of the third parties provided a prior approval from the tax authorities is obtained. Now we get into the requirements or the contents that must be mentioned on a comprehensive detailed tax invoice. First, the heading tax invoice is a mandate. It must be mentioned on all the tax invoices issued by a taxable person. Secondly, the date of issuance of the tax invoice, the date of supply and the date of payment. Thirdly, the supplier's details, which includes the name, address and tax identification number of the taxable person issuing a tax invoice must also be stated on the tax invoices. Fourthly, all the tax invoices must be issued in a chronological order. Fifth, the customer's name, address and tax identification number shall be mentioned on all the tax invoices. If the customer do not have a place of residence in the Sultanate of Oman, then its equivalent details should be mentioned in his country of residence. Next, tax invoices must include the description of the goods and services provided. Next, the quantity of goods shall be stated on the tax invoices. Further, if there is any advance payment received, then the date of payment shall be mentioned. Further, the total consideration excluding tax shall be mentioned, the applied tax rate, and if there is any discounts, rebates or any adjustments to the value of supplies which has not been reported in the value of consideration excluding tax shall be mentioned. Then the taxable value and the tax value shall be mentioned on the tax invoices. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned to learn more about VAT in Oman.